Well, the CPI report came out in today's video. We're going to go ahead and dive in and talk about kind of what this means. Are we due for a rate cut, or is this kind of the start of a stock market crash? So I hope you guys all enjoy it. If you do, smash that like button and subscribe. And if you guys want to learn more about investing, trading in the market, check out our school. It's fantastic. And enough with that. Let's dive into this. So the Bureau of Labor and Statistics comes out every single month, and they kind of give an insight on inflation. This will help the Fed honestly just give a decision on should they cut rates, increase rates, or hold rates. Now, one of the things here is the Fed has came out, last year and said, "Hey, expect a couple of rate cuts next year." And obviously, we really haven't seen any rate cuts or any big rate cuts. Now, what this causes is a lot of investors to get hopeful of that rate cut, because when you have the Fed cut rates, what that means is it helps stimulate the economy. When you have lower rates, people are more likely to take on loans like a mortgage or buy a car or open up a business or whatever it may be to help fuel the economy. But the problem is when we don't have a rate cut and we have, let's just say, high interest rates, people are less likely to take on loans to help stimulate the economy. So, one thing here, let's go ahead and show you guys this. This is just a general S&P 500, which is one of the most important stock market indexes of all time. You guys will notice that recently, as of today, we hit all-time highs. So, you've always heard that expression, buy low, sell high. Given that the market right now is at all-time highs, should you buy? Absolutely. Yes, you should. And the reason why I say that is because time in the market historically is better than trying to time the market, right? No matter when you invest, if you invest at all-time highs, as long as you have a long-term outlook, historically, you have a positive return. And that's what's important here. So with that, I think it's important here. Let's go ahead and bring up the kind of the stat here, the CPI report. So, all right, inflation report. Hold steady. All right. And it comes in at 2.7%. And a lot of economists came out beforehand and honestly was kind of putting a lot of fear into the marketplace, saying, hey, with tariffs, with this and that, expect high inflation over 2.8%. But that didn't happen. That's why we had a huge huge uptick in buyers that enter the stock market, because they're optimists, they're hopeful what the future could hold. Now, let's kind of scroll down here a little bit. So the Bureau of Labor and Statistics released the latest reading of the CPI index, which is, the customer price index. Here are the key numbers for July at a glance. So overall, YOY means year over year is a 2.7% increase. And like I said, most analysts expected a 2.8%. So that 0.1 might not seem like much, but that is huge for a possible rate cut. Now, overall, month over month is coming in at 0.2% increase, in line with expectations, which is good. Core year over year is at a 3.1% increase, and it's a 3% expected. Now, core month over month is coming in at 0.3%, and this is in line with expectations. So honestly, now the question remains is, are we due for a rate cut? And that's what a lot of people, and I want to show you guys this here. And everybody always asks, they go, Carter, what platform do you use? I use Moomoo. I'll put a link to them down below. So you guys can see here that Trump urges rate cuts again and threatens a major lawsuit against Powell, who's the chairman of the Fed, the Federal Reserve. So who knows? So pretty much what it states here. Let's go ahead and read this. Let's make it a little bigger if we can here. All right. Jerome, too late. Powell must now lower the rate. Steven, I'm not sure who this is, really gave me a beauty when he pushed this loser. The damage he has done by always being too late is incalculable. Unfortunately, the economy is so good that we've blown through Powell and complacent board. I am through considering allowing a major lawsuit against Powell to proceed because of the horrible and grossly incompetent job he has done in managing the construction of the Fed buildings. $3 billion of a job that should have been $50 million fix up. Not good. So, who knows what's going to happen? Obviously, I think we all know whether you like Trump or you don't like Trump, he always will say stuff like this. No matter what. So you always got to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm excited if we get a rate cut. I think right now represents a lot of optimism for the general economy and the stock market, right? I had honestly one of my biggest swing trades this past couple of days. So, guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Like, follow, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and take care.